Hi, my name's Emry Tsitouris, and I'm the graduate assistant for the women's basketball team at Wingate University. I grew up in a sports family, and so I was always around it. My mom actually played here at Wingate, and so basketball was just always around. It was something me and my sister did. So growing up, I played all different kinds of sports, but basketball I felt was the one I was best at and the one I liked the most, so I stuck with that going into college. Played all through high school at Parkwood, and then committed to USC Aiken to play. And then I ended up having a knee injury and a coaching change, transferred to Belmont Abbey, got done there playing last year, and now here I am today. I was a post player. I'm only about 5'10", so I feel like to be a successful college post player, you have to have a good work ethic and be able to really work hard, and that will lead you to your success. If you're working hard on the boards, that means you're probably going to score some. And so just getting in the gym, extra work, I knew that's what I had to do, and never being satisfied and getting in extra work with architect sports, that speed and agility, doing all the extra stuff. And so when the season came, I was prepared and ready, and even during season you have to just go that extra mile, be in the gym at night, and so I think that's what helped me rise above expectations as a player. So my sophomore season, I only got to play in about 6 or 8 games, and so as I was sitting there observing, it was just kind of cool to help my teammates and still be a part of the team, and know that even though I couldn't contribute on the court, I could still contribute and help them know the plays, like know what to do. And so that was the first time I felt like, oh wow, like maybe I should be a college coach. Like, this is enjoyable. I was still there for every practice, all the games. I was able to help out with my coaches at the time, and so that was the first time I really thought about it. And then I had some people, mentors who were doing this, and just talking to them, I felt like it was a door that opened, and something I definitely wanted to try and do. This is my first year on the road recruiting, and I feel like 2 things we noticed. Well, first off, the obvious answer is they have to have some skill to play here, but also we look to see if they're coachable. How do they respond to their coaches if during a timeout, when they're telling them something they need to do differently? When adversity hits, how do they act? So how coachable are you, and how poised are you able to be even when things aren't going your way? And another thing is work ethic. So you can kind of tell if the kids are warming up early, staying after to shoot. I would think for me that would be the 2 things I would want to see is coachability and are you a workhorse? We just got done with preseason, which that in itself is a success in general. Preseason's tough, it's a grind, but so far I didn't see the girls last year, but we have 7 incoming freshmen, and to see, we have a really hard fitness test, and to see even returners who I had heard it took them the whole season to pass the fitness test, seeing them finish it the first time and pass it, and just that excitement, that was really awesome to see. And also see the freshmen, even if they didn't make it the first time, like work every week to just become a little more mentally strong to just get over that hump. And so that's really encouraging. We got to do community service together, which I think it's more than basketball. So just to see the girls in a different environment helping out others is really cool to see and rewarding. I got to experience a little bit of both sides of that. There were some seasons that I went in and I was eating healthy, and I think that paid off, and you could see that on the court that I was eating right. And then I feel like I went in another summer and ate whatever I wanted to, and in return it was a little harder to pass the preseason fitness test. I will just tell you right there. So I think nutrition is key. I think as a freshman, a lot of girls like don't understand. They're just used to their high school bodies, like, oh yeah, let's go eat some donuts before this game and we'll be good to go. But then you get to college and you try to eat the donuts and it slows you down a whole lot. So I would say nutrition, if you can go ahead and get that in your mind, you're going to be one step in front of everybody else, because people don't realize how much it does actually affect your body. What you're putting into it is kind of the results you're going to see on the court and even in the weight room. If you're trying to get stronger, which our girls are in the weight room, like, you need to be fueling your body with things that are going to help your muscles grow, and so in return you can be more explosive on the court. So I think nutrition is super important for people to know about. Mental toughness, health in general is something that's super important and something you cannot take lightly. I think the NCAA has done a much better job addressing that and making coaches aware that it's a thing and you have to take it seriously. I feel like these days people are coming out more and saying they're struggling with something, which is great. And so if you are struggling, I think our doors as coaches are always open to talk about that. We'll talk about pretty much anything appropriate with the players, and if we can't handle it ourselves, we will most definitely lead them in the right direction, to someone who can help them and is more experienced, and that's they're professionals in that. And also, I think preseason in general is something that builds mental toughness. I think our goal as coaches is to put them into positions that are hard and see how tough they can be, like knowing it's hard. We literally know it is not easy, and so to see how they handle that is kind of an indicator of, well, how can they handle a stressful situation in a game, or at the end, are they pushing hard? That translates at the end of the game. Are they going to push hard when we're in overtime, tied game? Who's going to be able to keep that mental toughness, because it's hard, and it's something, especially when you get fatigued, it's something that you have to actually work on. And so I think that's why preseason is so helpful, so the girls in the back of their mind know when they get to game time in that situation, I can do this, I've done it before, I've been in a tough situation. But definitely on the other anxiety part, that in general is just very important, and you should always be able to talk to somebody about that. Yeah, I think FAU is something that is awesome to female athletes in general, because I mean, this is something that I think needs to become bigger and more spread out throughout everywhere, because this is something so important. So if I were to know all these facts at 15 versus once I actually experience them and have to go through them myself, that would be so different, because you're learning from people who have already been there, done that, have all the information. I mean, why do something and go through something when someone else already has and kind of knows the right direction to lead you? And so I've already been on the website scrolling, and I feel like it touches on a ton of information that I hear our head coach and assistant coach talking about. And what's so important to our players, or gosh, I wish our players knew about this. And it's stuff that's already on the site that you can go look for yourself. And so if you were actually in contact with these people and had the opportunity to do that, I think that's even better and could help tremendously, and honestly help prepare people so they can avoid some of these situations in general and don't even have to go through them. So I think this is such a great program, and something that is going to benefit so many people. And if you have the opportunity to take advantage of it, it would just put you that much ahead of somebody else who wouldn't have that same opportunity as you.